welcome back to Wendy's Colouring, and today is end of the month video. So my stuff from February. So I have a, if I can pick them up, smallish pile of stuff to go through. So yeah, without doubt, let's get straight into it. So I've done a few this month. I kind of feel like I've done a lot of figures this month, but yeah, it's just the way it's fallen, unfortunately. So my first one, Spooky Colouring Book by Sarah Sawecki. Probably said it wrong. Yeah, one of my favourites at the moment, this little spooky colouring book. Love the paper in it. Did this one. Remove my bookmark. Yeah, this is in Prismas. Yeah, I quite enjoyed this. I quite enjoyed the colours. The characters are cute, aren't they? Yeah, I just think it's quite a cute little page. Thank you to, I think it was Ellie in the comments that went, duh, Wendy, that's an axolotl. You're right, I see it now. Yeah, sometimes you can't see what's right in front of you, can you? But yeah, not too many different bits and pieces on here. Like I say, all in Prisma in the main. Backgrounds all pencil work in Prisma. If I have the time to, I do prefer a colour pencil background. Yeah, you can do a bit more with it, I think, or at least I feel more confident to do a little bit more with it. And I wanted the colours to change. The little bit of metallic that's in there is my Colero metallic paints. And I think I did use a little bit of the Guangna acrylic pens just here and there. Not a huge amount, probably around the clouds, a little bit around that. Just the odd little line that I wanted to not be quite as obvious. But yeah, quite enjoyed it. I'm quite enjoying this book, so clouds took a little bit of work, but yeah, again, quite enjoyed them. I kind of wanted them pink, so I thought, let's go with pink. But it did mean I couldn't do my axolotl pink, because that would have been too much pink on one page. But yeah, my first one out of Spooky Colouring Book. One of my favourite little books. Another little book, as it's popped up on the pile. Wasn't in my colouring plans, but it has been in my work bag, hence why it's getting a little bit beaten up. Bourgeois, Herballs, isn't it? And I can't see it on the front cover, and I should know. Oh yeah, Diane Defoe. So yeah, another little quick page that I wanted to get done. In fact, we'll leave that in there because I'll put it somewhere daft and then I won't know where it is. So like I say, yeah, this has been in my work bag, so it's just been literally pick up, put down, pick up, put down, tiny little bits at a time. This is in my Derwent Chroma Flows. So yeah, I think they're only 72s, aren't they, the Derwent Chroma Flows? But yeah, I quite liked it. I think I definitely prefer something a bit more waxy in this book, so maybe I'll carry on with the Chroma Flows in this book. Not a huge amount of other stuff. I think again I did use my Gangna markers on it, and I think I did just use one of the Pentel dual hybrids for her little stars that are in her little shirt. I think that's what that metallic glitter is. Had a change from my Signo sparklings. Thought I'd use the Pentel for a change, but yeah, quite like it as well onto it. Riding a wolf or husky, or I don't know. It's quite a big dog compared to her, isn't it? But yeah, with a cute little owl in the tree trunk. But yeah, another little page done out of Herballs by Diane Defoe. Then what else did I get done this month? This book was new to me last year sometime. I think I did get it from Amazon France. I think it's Night Fairies, the translation. No idea whether it's still available or not. I've not looked for quite a while, but yeah, I did. There was a couple of books that I wanted that didn't seem to be available on UK Amazon, so I did order these a while ago from the French version. Once you've translated it, it's pretty easy. But I did this page this month. I think this is my first page in this book. Have I written down? Please say I've written down. Oh yes, I have, because I can't remember this. This one I did earlier on in the month. This little fairy. I quite enjoyed working on her. Her dress and her hair, I think, are luminance, unsurprisingly. wings. I did pencil work on the wings first. That was in Holbein's. I've used... Oh yeah, I've used some of the metallic Derwent pencils. I think I have the anniversary set of metallic pencils, and they are quite soft. I've used those on the edges of the wings as well. Then I've also used some super golden markers in, again, some of the wings and the flowers. Some of the detail in the flowers is some of that. And then, as you can probably notice, in the background I have some of my Etsy paints from Renaissance that are, as you know, some of my most favourite paints, because just look at the glow they give. They're just such beautiful paints. The glittery bits that you see, so over the top of the wings on both sides, is Art Spirits, one of her glittery paints. I think if you want glitter, Art Spirits is where you go. I think if you want this kind of foily look, Renaissance is where you go on Etsy. Two of my most favourite paint makers, who I've done a little bit on a little headband as well. But yeah, so yeah, that's my Night Fairy. I quite enjoyed it. I quite enjoyed the painting. Oh, someone did correct me about the moon as well. I can't remember who now. Yeah, thank you to whoever pointed out that this was in fact a flower, not a moon. I've kind of done it moony and flowery in my images, but yeah, there you go. My first page out of Night Fairies by Colour. Like I say, this is a French version. I got it from France. I've no idea whether it's still in stock on Amazon France, but yeah, that was mine. Another book that I had not touched up to now was Cinderella by Mandine Jung. I think you can get this as a PDF now on her website if you're in different countries and you don't want to pay the massive shipping to the States or something. If you like her style, I think you can get it as a PDF now. So yeah, first page in this book. Yeah, I had a few ups and downs with this. I started using my Super Colours Softs on it, but yeah, I was getting quite a lot of paper texture coming through with it. Yeah, I started with the skirt on with the I can't even talk. Super Colour Softs. I did do with the Super Colours Dry on her skirt, but yeah, it was leaving a lot of texture marks. I was having to go over a lot to kind of get rid of, you know, the dotty paper kind of look. So yeah, I did change up to some of the Holbeins and some of my luminance, just because I wasn't enjoying how many layers I was having to put on for a skirt. I do like this look of a skirt now it's finished, but yeah, just the process of getting to that point was really hard work. So yeah, I did swap. I've also put, again, Art Spirits. I've gone a bit glitter crazy this one. I did put a layer of the Art Spirits glitter paint from, again, she's an Etsy paint provider, over the top. Hadn't thought about it at all. Obviously the Super Colours are watercolour pencil. Got halfway through, I was like, oh, it's moving it a bit, but fortunately I didn't get it too wet, and it seems to have survived. I've kept the layers that I've created, but I did put that over the top. This bit of her dress I did colour first in Luminance, and then I've used one of the Archie's watercolour paints that I have. I think I got one of those grab bags that they were doing that were just kind of like unfinished pans and bits and pieces, but yeah, this was just one of those colours. It's kind of like shot through with gold, this watercolour. So as you can see, I've coloured it with the Luminance colour pencils first on this kind of trim bit of a dress, her gloves, and this section, and the little bit of a trim that goes around the bottom. But then I've used the Archies over the top just to add a bit of sheen to it, to make her dress a bit more blingy. Backgrounds are Holbeins, and I have used some Signo Sparking Silver and Gold that I did the little stars with my Signo in there, and I think it's in her headdress as well, and there's odd little bits in the field and bits and pieces like that. I don't know how I feel about this really. I enjoyed doing the dress. She has a lot of line work in, like there's a lot of line work in her hair. Because it's so fine, it's very tricky to take out. Normally I obviously take out a lot of line work with my acrylic markers. In the main, I haven't used any acrylic markers on this piece because I thought if I start trying to take any of the line work out of her hair, I'm just going to lose all the detail in her hair, which I didn't want to do. So yeah, I've kind of left the line work on this page, which for me is unusual. Normally I would get rid of it and try and do something a bit different with it. But yeah, I quite liked it. It's a beautiful book. It's a very different style of drawing. I do really like this little carriage. Fancy doing that at some point. And some of these. The characters are really expressive, I think, in some of these pages. It's an interesting, it's a little bit of a different style, isn't it? So yeah, that was my first page in Cinderella by Amandine Jung. Then another page that I've got mixed feelings about really. I love this book, Magical Dawn. If I had to pick a book, that's the only book you can have, probably it would be one of these of Hannah Carlson. Magical Dawn by Hannah Carlson, obviously. And yeah, I did this page. And yeah, I don't like the background. I don't know. I was in the mood to do a painted background, so I did a painted background. But I got about halfway and thought, actually, this needed something a bit more interesting, I think, in the background, really. You know, some kind of sky effects would have been a bit more interesting in it. So I did do, as you can see, watercolour paints. This is a mix of my watercolour paints. I think this kind of dark purple colour at the base here is another Art Spirits paint. And I must admit, it's quite a dark colour, but it has just a little bit of glitter in it. Not that bit, that's some of the other one, but it has quite a subtle bit of glitter in it, but it's a lovely dark colour. And then the top one, I think, was one of my Caleros. And then, as you can see, I've used one of her glittery paints over the top, which again, I kind of now regret because I've got a portrait on this side and that glitter is going to come up as a texture when I try and do her skin on the back. So, all in all, I just wasn't thinking what I was doing when I was on here, but I'll have to try and tackle that problem another time. Colour pencil work is Holbein, so all of these mushrooms, all the plants, and my little mice are all in Holbeins. I've also used my Light Wish 48 set of acrylic markers. I've used some of my Gangnam markers. There's some of the Light Wish Super Golden markers, and some of these I can see are Super Golden because they have that lovely sheen. I've used a little bit in the spider, I think, but definitely these circles in the background that I don't think you can see very well because so much glitter. And yeah, that's pretty much it, I think. I don't hate it. But yeah, I got halfway through and thought, I wish I hadn't done that background like that. And I don't often do a big background like that first, but I did. I do like the mushrooms. The mushrooms I'm fairly pleased with. The mice, I kind of feel maybe need a little bit more work, but I don't know. All in all, it's not quite as I wanted it. I painted it because I felt like painting it at the time, but I don't think it was the best choice for this particular piece. But yeah, I am where I am. It's not terrible, is it? But there we go, never mind. I just don't know how I'm going to save this woman on the back, because when I'm touching it now I really can feel like, what is that? Oh, she might have avoided much of the glitter on her face. That bit's going to be yeah. We'll not worry about that now, because you don't need to know, do you? Magical Dawn by Hannah Carlson. Then I've got another book that I do love a lot. Fairy Tales by Emily Leidenhall Oberg. It's filthy. Sorry about my dirty cover. But yeah, how many books do I need in one book? A lot. It's clearly the answer. I did this page. Well, obviously. I've been considering doing this page for quite a while. So I did, unusually for me, I did a bit of Tombow brush pen in the background. So all this green I did brush pen in first, and in hindsight it wasn't the best colour. Then I've worked over with my new Artistro pencils. In the main, I quite enjoyed using them. They did take quite a few layers, and I did use quite a bit of, I think I was using my Holbein white with these just to smooth them down where I wanted it, particularly in the background, because I really didn't want this kind of textury look that I've got in her hair. I didn't want that in the background. I wanted it really smooth. So I did use quite a bit of Holbein white with them as well, just to really smooth out the surface of them. I did enjoy working with them. They've got some lovely colours with them. Obviously this has a lot of green in them, so I was struggling a little bit for some greens, so I did pinch a few greens for my Artex 126 set, just to add in a few extra green tones. Otherwise there'd be too much of the same green. Even though you know, I quite like layering my greens, I still wanted some different ones, so I did add in a few of those. I've also used the Indra Creatives that I have in the same pencil case as my Artistros. They worked okay with them. I think that worked pretty well. The little bit of watercolour, there's not a huge amount, but this little bit in her jumper that's just like this bright pink was one of the Christmas watercolours that I got in my Sketch and Story old subscription sets. Yeah, I forget, I don't know the name of the actual manufacturer. It's a little handmade manufacturer that she'd got these from, but yeah, it was one out of my Sketch and Story kits, which sadly she's not doing them anymore. But yeah, it's quite a nice little blingy little pink that I just wanted something just to lift her jumper a little bit. Again, my 48 set of acrylic markers from Lightwish and my Guangna markers, again, just to get rid of some of the lines and some of the leaves and change them to brown rather than black for the stalks and things like that. Oh, I've missed a bit. How have I managed that? What an idiot. That's in paint as well, isn't it, that? How did I manage to miss a bit? That's a bit daft of me, isn't it? So yeah, nearly finished, but I appear to have missed some triangles there. Dope. Another beautiful book though. I've still not done anywhere near as much as I'd like in here. Oh, I think I did spend a bit of time smoothing off the background on this page as well. Still, I think it needs another layer of pencil now. Just making jobs for myself. Fairy Tales by Emily Leidenhall Oberg, and my last one this month is this beautiful book by Couliard, Colouring Adventures. One of my favourite books this at the moment, and I could not resist doing, let me flip it over out the way, another portrait of this book because I'm just loving these at the moment. So I did this kind of butterfly flower girl. Yeah, I did enjoy doing this page. It's a lovely drawing. I love all the portraits in this book, and I can see me doing all the portraits in this book. Hint, hint, Couliard. Make a full book of these, please. I based this all in a hoo-hoo first. So I based all that much in a hoo-hoo. So as you can see, I did some skin tone, I did the background, I based the flowers and the leaves in all of that. The background is purely just a hoo-hoo. I've not worked over with pencil on the background. It's literally just 2 marker pens that I've worked in the background. Over the top of her skin, I have worked my luminance pencils over the top, and pretty much most of the other stuff was luminance just over the top. I think I did just add in one of my Holbein pinks, because there's a pink that sits really nicely in between the red and the white that I've used in bits of her dress and bits of roses that just, yeah, I found it really useful adding in that Holbein, and that Holbein helps move the moves the luminance a little bit as well when you're trying to blend the flowers in together. My Guangnan markers and a spot of golden markers by Lightwish, just a little bit in the butterflies and on her nails. A little bit was the only little bit of glittery stuff. I think I've done enough glitter for 1 month. We'll just leave her as she is. But yeah, I've loved working on this portrait. They're beautifully drawn. There's just enough shading that you can work it through, and you don't see, you know, sometimes grayscale makes the skin look very grey, doesn't it? Which I don't particularly enjoy. I want your skin to look alive, not grey. But yeah, there's just enough. It's a little bit dark there in her ear, isn't it? You can kind of see it quite a bit there. But yeah, I've enjoyed working on that. Enjoyed the flowers. I enjoyed doing all this little bit of the butterflies in her eyes. Yeah, I think this is probably my favourite this month. I have enjoyed working on it. I've got, as you can see, I've got them marked up. I think I've got that portrait to do still in this one. And I've got another one in, so there must be another one. Oh yeah, the Egyptian one. Might do the Egyptian one next month. We'll see. I think, is there only those two more? Oh no. Oh, there is another one there, look. I've got, yeah, I'm thinking she's more Christmas winter, isn't she? And as we're kind of just approaching spring. Oh yeah, I've got that one as well. Yeah, clearly I've not marked them all up. Perhaps they were the ones I picked for my selections for this month. But yeah, my second portrait out of this lovely book. I won't be able to find the front because I never can. There we go. Out of this lovely book by Colouring Adventures. Great because you can just use whatever media you like and you don't have to worry. But great because they're great little images. Love it. But yeah, that was all of my work this month. Obviously February a little bit shorter month. It's been an up and down month for me personally, but at least I've got a little bit done. Hopefully it was something that was interesting you in all of this collection. Which is your favourite? I think this one was probably my favourite out of all of them. I've quite enjoyed quite a few of them this month. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.